Hi, this is Stan Hustad, and thank you for joining me once again. I enjoy this, what we call a What It Takes WiT TeachAbout. And all of you who are kind of involved in this little program here have honored me by allowing me to come into your life, at least into your virtual and digital life, to be a bit of a teacher. And I've learned a lot from you. And our hope is that by teaching one another, we can all do these things. Increase our wisdom and insight, so that from wisdom and insight, we can have a greater influence in the world. And perhaps our influence can actually impact people. And then from all of those things, perhaps our income will increase. And that's not just income, though that's important in terms of money, but income. All kinds of good incoming things. Greater relationships, greater friendships, greater peace of mind. We want good incoming things into our life. What I'd like to do today in this middle of April 2016 is just to give you a little bit of an update and please encourage you to do some things that at least I would love to be a part of your life in, and encourage you to give them some consideration. First of all, as many of you know, it appears that Donald Trump, the entrepreneur, a man who has had no political experience, who has been a real estate developer, an entrepreneur, a businessman, is very close to perhaps being one of the top presidential candidates, perhaps nominated by one of the major parties in the United States to run for president. It appears that that's a very, very distinct possibility. Now, I saw this coming some time ago, and I put together a class which is on many of the platforms, and in fact I put it on YouTube, where I simply said is you can learn from Donald Trump and the phenomenon. Now, it's not an endorsement, it's certainly not a solicitation for votes, it's not propaganda for him, nothing of that kind, but key insight. Got it? Many of you have heard this before. Everything can be useful to you. I can learn whether I like Donald Trump or support him or not or whatever. Everything can be useful. And by observing how that happened, his rise to prominence and how that was able to happen, you can learn something. And about his unquestioned business success, you can learn something. And so in the class and course, I really encourage you to do just that. Please take the course, 10 Things You Can Learn from the Donald Trump Phenomenon. That's a good idea. I'll be that blunt about it. And here's one of the things I did point out in that, and this is vital. Today, if you want to be successful in your life and business, you're going to have to learn in the marketplace how to use the electronic media. Radio, television, broadcasting, everybody carries with them now, it seems, and they will in the future, a powerful communications device. Radio and television and internet, all those things are moving, you know, to the iPad, to the smartphone. In fact, somebody has just said that the recent layoff from Intel reflects the fact that even the personal computer is beginning to be a dying industry as more and more people carry with them what used to be a computer, which is now a phone, a media device, a communication device. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to learn how to use radio and television broadcasting, and I can help you do that. I've had lots of experience. I'm a great teacher of radio and television principles. Isn't it interesting? Years ago, it used to be you had to learn how to write. Many times business schools were about writing. Then, about 80 years ago, the Dale Carnegie guy said, and you better learn how to speak and give a presentation. Now today, it's not just you got to learn to write, which you do. You got to learn how to speak and present, which you do. But you have to learn how to use the broadcast media. You have to. And that's why Trump is where he is. He knows how to use the media. And most of the other people who were competing against him, I guarantee you, some of the smartest people in the world, some of the most talented people in the world, didn't have a clue. You need to do that. And some of my classes are on the marketplace now, can help you do that. Secondly, I'm just going to simply encourage you to understand that one of the classes which is kind of outside the box was how you can learn from the Beatles. Remember, don't seek to learn how to do business by going to business school today. Find your education in other areas of life, and particularly in the arts and entertainment world. Okay, the Beatles. 10 things you can learn about business and life success from the Beatles. That's one of my classes and courses, and you can learn a lot from them. I guarantee it. And one of the things that you're going to point out, that I do point out, is this, is that after the Beatles became successful, they took time out to get spiritually developed. Now, they weren't particularly religious guys when they were young. And you may not like what they chose. It may not be what you would choose. It may not be what your faith or non-faith is. But they decided that they would go to India and study under a spiritual leader, a guru, to use that term, which was the term that was primarily applied to people who were religious teachers. What they understood is that spiritual development is vital to business success and to performing success. Now, you may not, they don't talk about that, but it's true. And I'm going to encourage you to understand that not only are you involved in stories, skills, and strategies, you are also involved in some spiritual development if you want to have the power and resilience to sustain yourself in these challenging times. Just, again, think about that. Thirdly, fire the CEO as a chief executive officer. I was talking to a gentleman who had been an executive coach to some of the top Fortune 50 executives in his long and varied career. He's now an older man in his 90s and retired. And I simply said this to him in one of my mentoring sessions that he's doing for me. I said, you know what? The chief executive officer is going to have to be the chief education leader of their organization. The chief executive is now the chief educator of the organization. He's not just an officer. He is a leader teacher. And he or she is going to have to build relationships and learn the teaching skills. Now, one of the reasons I want you to gain your 20-minute TED type talk, and I want all of you to become online teachers, is today. If you want to be a leader, you're going to have to learn how to be a teacher and how to educate and connect with people so they can learn. If you want to earn, you have to learn. And your job will be to help people become greater learners so that you and the company can be greater earners. That's vital. So make it a part of your career and business development. First of all, learn the broadcasting performance art. Tend to your soul. And thirdly, begin to learn the educational arts, how to be a performing teacher who helps people. Now that's going to be what it takes to make it in the future. That's WIT. Wisdom, insight, and truth as to what it will take. And I am so glad that I have the opportunity to talk with you about this, and perhaps together we can be better at knowing that we will seek greater insight, greater influence, greater impact, and bring all those good income things to us. All the best and blessings to you. I look forward to talking to you again. Until next time, bye for now.